Real life street stars. We're here with BC Newton,
What's
owner
happening?
and operator of Southern Fried Marketing.
Bingo.
What it is, boy.
What's up with it?
Before we get deep off into this thing, because we finna get deep off in this thing. Tell the people where you from.
Well, I'm originally from Oklahoma, a little small town. I'm a country boy for real, Enid, Oklahoma. But I've been here long enough to say I'm from Dallas too, though, man. I've been 20 plus years.
Okay.
You know, I planted my feet here.
So how'd you make your way from the red dirt to the motherfucking Trinity?
Family was here. I used to travel through here. I played ball in El Paso and UTEP, you know, played football in college and got a degree from, you know, UTEP. So I used to come through here often.
Yeah. Was you any good?
Huh?
Was you any good at football?
Oh, yeah, I was All-American.
All-American?
Yeah, blue chip All-American out of high school, All-American in college. I probably should have played on Sundays, but, you know, I broke my toes my going into my senior year.
Oh, wow.
Kind of was different at that point, but yes, that's different too.
So going pro into thinking about to go pro into what we do now is owning and operating our own business, and you've laid a lot of groundwork for the DFW hip hop scene for over a decade.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How'd you get started?
Blessing of a cousin. He was in the industry by way of working for Sony. He was in the marketing department, and back then it was the thing called retails and sales.
Way back then. Way back then.
Before the internet. Yeah,
right.
No, real talk, but and streaming and things. But yeah, my cousin, bro, he introduced me to the industry. Then I got blessed by a couple other individuals. I had to name them out: Lump, Demetrius, you know, Gloria Fitz. The list goes on. Mm-hmm. I was well blessed, man, from the jump.
So upon entering the hip hop scene, what was some of because marketing is not easy by any means. It takes a lot of groundwork, a lot of hustle. You got to put up with a lot of attitudes, a lot of bullshit. Tell us about some of the trials and tribulations you faced when you started your company.
Really just being self-taught. You know, I don't think people take it in terms of understanding when you say entrepreneurship. You know, like not having capital up front to be able to do certain things. Just learning on the fly, man. I can't lie to you.
Right.
But like, you know, I
Most
think a lot of
do,
it is I didn't read no books for none of this. You know, like I went to school and got a degree in, you know, I put it out there, psychology.
Right.
But that still kind of ties into some of the things I got going on with still dealing with people.
Right.
But with that being said, I was just a people person, man, outgoing, always willing to go get it. And my cousin kind of introduced him. He felt like I was made for it, so it was crazy. He's like, man, you be good at this shit, bro, I'm telling you. And it was just one of those things that kind of really was that. I was as good at it, because, you know, I can't discredit my past. I was a partier in college. I ran a club before I got to that destination, even doing promotions back in Oklahoma, you know what I mean? So I was always a creator, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, Oklahoma's easy money, you know what I'm saying, as far as anything you doing with black people gonna get you some money.
Yeah, yeah.
How did you take that mind state and implement it into the detail? Because it's the music scene is bigger, more opportunity, but it's more shit
Key
to
word
contend
you just
with.
said, though, opportunity. You know what I mean? I really looked at it for what it was. You know, you got to create, man. You create. I know you. I've been knowing you for a long time. You know, think about it. It's a real truth. You gave me a lot of credit saying you got to know how to promote, and the knowledge, I think, you know, it was just a blessing I was able to mess with the A-list artists. And, you know, a lot of my first clients, I'll keep it real with, my first dear client was Epic Records. So think about it. That's at a time when it was Michael Jackson, J-Lo, Maxwell's, you know, like these big projects, bro. You know what I mean?
Now, for the longest time, you knew the name Southern Fried Marketing, but you didn't know BC. We seen you around. We seen you moving. We didn't know who you were.
Right.
Why?
Purposely, I wanted my work to speak for itself. You know what I mean? You know, I'm going to tell you an honest statement. Me and my little bro talk about it a lot. When we first got here, cats was running around giving away cards. And do you kind of remember the time when people was putting the medallions around their chest, and they would try to use them as credibility to get in and out of places?
Right.
I wanted to be on face value. I wanted to be a different identification when we was in the building, if that makes sense.
Now, when you kind of move very silent like that, you run into situations where motherfuckers will be like, yeah, this, that, and the third, you know what I'm saying? Who is you, though? And the whole time they don't know they talking to the boss. Give us a situation, give us a scenario where you was dealing with a person or a company or an entity where they was talking like they was running the show, but really they didn't know they was talking to you.
Well, I run into it a lot because people didn't tie the Southern Fried and the BC together. And then, I had a run at one point where I even worked at the radio station here. I was real instrumental with introducing 97.9 to the streets. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was a good time. So yeah, that happened a lot. I hate to just put one out there, but
so it happens.
I kind of be exposing a few folks. You know what I mean?
Right.
But just keeping it real with you, it happened often, man. To be honest with you, because they wouldn't understand how I was able to control as much as I had going on. I tell you a true story. This is real. I don't really put this out there too often, but I'm gonna say it on record. From 2000 to 2008, before it came to be the internet and all these other influences, the way to expose music and, let's be honest, it was a product-based situation. It was hand-to-hand, you know what I mean?
Right.
We controlled about 22 states, 22 labels, to correct it, put it on the record. I'm talking about from Epics, to Warner Brothers, the Atlantics, the LaFace, RCA Records, MCA Records, Eras, Jive Records. I can label on and on, but it was just a good time. You know what I mean? Music was at an all-time high. And like, I don't know if you remember this, but you remember times a bunch of rap trucks was running around here.
Yeah.
We influenced that movement.
Yeah, I remember.
We were some of the first ones on the ground with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm talking about I don't take all credit, but I remember doing it before Dark Bus did it.
I can remember was when I was a young boy, man, there was a club that they closed down over there by Sam's Club. I can't remember what it was.
By Sam's Club.
Over there off Park Lane.
GG?
GG.
Come on now.
GG,
what?
Man.
What?
That parking lot, that Sam's Club parking lot 2230. Man,
hey,
you see
honestly,
so much.
This is a real truth on record. There was no other club, and there won't ever be another club like Jesus in the city of Dallas.
Ever.
I know that was a 14-year run and 15-year run, and I'm talking about people mourned when Gigi's closed the night that people came the last day, cried, shedded tears, and I'm talking about it was a real experience. You know what I mean? No lie.
I was in GG's as a young nigga, and I was sad.
Yeah, sneaking in. You was sneaking in probably.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I got carded. They was like, nah, this ain't going to work. Yeah. All that.
You was sneaking in. I remember, AB, all them people's my peoples. I'm talking about, back then when all the artists was coming through there, from the Pastor Troy's, Jermaine Dupri's, I can list the names of them we brought through those clubs. I remember CeeLo taking them to places down on Lower Greenville when people didn't know him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was just, like, I can't lie, it was just a good time of music at that point, bro.
Right.
Real.
So we talk about an era like that where, the black scene was prevalent, it was strong, and then it kind of just dissipated into what it is now. Not saying that it's weak, but it's not what it used to be.
Okay.
How does Southern Fried marketing stay relevant in the era now of streaming and,
education, knowledge, it's power. You got to know how to move in this industry, to really be able to make it stick and for it to count for something. And one of the things we always was, keeping it real with you, just stay in front of the curve.
Right.
A lot of us in the know. Just being honest with you, I'm student every day, especially about every 3 to 5 years, something's going to change.
Right.
Drastically. You know what I mean? Something's going to pop up, like let's be 1,000. You just said it best. Just the way how people are buying music today. Right. They want it right now.
Right now. You was here, of course you were here, during the Boogie era. Now, the Boogie...
yeah, I was here.
Yeah. One of the most notorious eras to Dallas thus far.
What was
the Boogie era? The Boogie era.
What about it?
Why do you think Dallas killed its own movement?
Being macho. They didn't want to claim the dancing. Nobody wanted to be dance rappers.
Right.
To be honest with you. And I'm telling you full circle because I can tell you a true statement. I remember one time I had what's the name? Kids that signed the Capitol. They did the Dougie situation. What was their name?
Lil Will Spain.
Say that again.
Lil Will and Chris.
Well, Will
Spain.
did their thing here, but
Yeah.
you know they grew.
Oh, Teach Me How to Dougie.
The kids did it on the West Coast.
Yeah.
But I can't remember their name. Something swag. Cali swag different.
Cali swag team.
Bingo.
Oh,
First time they ever came to Cali swag district. Yeah. The time they first ever coming to Dallas, I was trying to put them and Will and them all together. You know what I mean? And,
Right.
you know, I just had to put it out there. Me and Will's talked about it, but keeping it real, it's one of those things that, you know, people be worried about something biting off of you kind of world, and it didn't really have to be like that.
Right.
Because, you know, he just wanted to put the remix together at the time. And I'm talking about a matter of 2 weeks later, you seen Jermaine Dupri grabbed it, and they brought back Dougie Fresh, was in the remix, and, you know, that could have been an opportunity.
Right.
To be, because you got to remember, in this whole game, affiliation situation is key.
Right.
What you associate it to is what you can come to be, or you be accepted a little different. And that'd have been a good chance for us to be relevant over in the West Coast too. You know what I mean?
Man, to that. Man, tell me about a lucrative deal that you could still be eating off of today that went sour because of ego.
Because of
somebody
what?
Ego.
Twisted Black.
Woo! What happened?
Ooh. Wow. A lot.
A lot.
Story. You know, then at the same time,
Yeah.
you know, he got crossed over too though.
Right.
At that point, you know, he was doing a lot, and you know, that's my guy. When I say we went across the country,
Right.
Suburbans wrapped up. And you're talking about hand to hand, hitting the ground.
Right.
I think we may have did 10, 15,000 CDs in the streets, and I said CDs back then. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hand to hand, from here to, because you know he's originally from the Midwest.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was his run, bro. Indianapolis, the whole whoop. We was eating, bro.
Right. So when you come across situations like that, and you know, what do you use when you come into your new situation and you see like an artist that has a talent or an ability, but they on the wrong path?
Try to give them a word of wise. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you know, the hardest part is, you know, you got to find out if they're willing to listen too, though.
Right.
This time and day, you know what I mean? But, you know, really just try to look them in the face and really be solid with them.
Right.
Because they ain't going to meet a lot of solid people on their way, you know what I mean?
Now, I've always wanted to know, how did you get Southern Fried? Because, you know, it was unique. You couldn't forget it because it's like Southern Fried. And, you know, first thing you're going to think of is some chicken. That was just always so clever to me.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I had to give all credit due to my cousin. You know, it was a production company, and you know, just the thought after I seen it and really was able to grab it and put the marketing under it was just the fact I wanted to stick. I wanted people to think to where, you know, think about it. What's one of the first things you think with? You think with your stomach before you think with your head.
Man,
they say your gut instinct, right?
Woo!
Man, they say your gut instinct.
They do
so,
say that.
It just always kind of stuck, and it worked, though, believe it or not. Kind of like yourself, you know, you first heard it, you was like, what's that? You know, the white people might say Southern fried chicken, but, you know, as a joke, but
Right.
my folks knew what it was. You know what I mean?
Have you ever thought about changing it?
We've grown. We got several other parent companies. You know, we got LCA, management. You know, we do a lot of booking. You know what I mean? We got a lot of birth companies, PR companies, you know, different stuff. You know, I didn't think it was so much a need of a change, but, you know, just to be able to extend the brand out and come across it of that nature. By the time people realize, you know, they looking at me again anyway, but I'm okay with that.
Now, you being in the streets with it, it's dangerous. We just recently today lost a young artist by the name of Pop Smoke. He was 20 years old. Do you miss that? Like going to different states and being out in the streets and touching the people and risking it, or do you feel like it's better and safer?
Do I miss it? I ain't went nowhere from it. I moved around all the last 2 years, bro. Like, you know, give or take, it's 52 weekends out the year.
Right.
I may have moved around 28 of them.
Oh, that's crazy.
32 of them at least. And I'm saying weekends, either by way of weeks or whatever.
Right.
Might have been out 12, 13 days back, but just to break it down in a sensible fact, the move around is real, bro. Like,
But do you feel like there's a sense of danger to it now?
Oh, it is. But you got to just know who you're dealing with.
Right.
I don't go no places that don't plug in.
Right. I was just going to ask, speaking of having a relationship, how important is relationships?
Oh, it's the most relationships more than money. We just talking about this today, really. Most of my team and my people's like, relationships going to bring you money even when it ain't no money on the table.
Right.
You know, you got to remember, even from a creative space, you being an entrepreneur, think about it, some of your best relationships is your money-making relationships.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
Somebody
that's just the way I've always looked at it.
Right.
That's the most important part of any industry. It ain't just music. You know, that carries over if you doing vending machines or whatever. You know, you got to be able to walk in the place and get more locations. Or it's all about relationships, bro.
So what would you say is your most important relationship to date?
Most important?
Most important, like 20 year, like, you know.
I was gonna really hit you, which is God, be honest with you. You know what I mean? Because he keeps me grounded. You know, I'm gonna keep it honest with you. Like, I wouldn't tell you no lie that, you know, I put him first, but I don't know.
Hey, man, that's a solid answer. I wouldn't.
You know,
I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't expect that.
I can't lie to you. You know,
I was looking like Jay Prince. Yeah, when I'm down in Houston, I'm mob ties. You know, niggas love
I gotta
screaming.
give it to him first, man.
You know, niggas
what
love
I mean?
screaming.
Just being honest with you, because like he keep me real grounded and level. But I have some super. When I said Demetrius earlier, you know, people don't know. You know, you're talking about an executive that's at Columbia. You know, he started off as a regional. You know, 20-year plus. You know, the Zeems. You know, it's a hometown favorite. You know what I mean? Like I got real essence of relationships, bro. You know what I mean? I can't lie to you. You know, people in New York, from L.A.
Right.
You know, Detroit Marshalls. People know these people. You know what I mean? Like, I got real. And you know, I think another thing people take for granted too is time spent. You know, we moving so fast a lot of times. We don't really take our time to spend time with somebody away from what we got going on with this music or whatever. Right. You know, let's go and get a bite to eat and sit down and chop it up for real or whatever. Because like people myself, they don't realize I got 3 kids. I got grown kids, bro. I got a 28-year-old.
Oh, wow.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's different. It's different.
You know, so.
You gonna have some more?
Nah, I'm cool. My youngest 15, love them to dearly. You know, I got, like I said, 15, got 21, finna be 21, 20, finna be 21, and a 28-year-old. I got grandkids, bro. So,
man, talk about that, man, because 3 kids trying to juggle a family, but you on the move, but like you said, 28, maybe 30-some weekends out the year. How do you find time to be a good parent?
Time spent, like I said. I make the effort to be there still. Right. You know, I don't miss no games. I go to teacher parent conferences. You know, like I'm a single parent. My 15-year-old's with me. Thank God the rest, you know, being really honest with you, my mother, she's dynamite, you know, but I'm keeping it real with you, like, just to put my personal business out there, that's just real to me. Right. You know, like I said, pick her up every day after school, make sure she getting the homework done, you know. Keep
it's something about them little girls, man. Something about them little girls.
Them girls, hey, mine got me right, though.
Right.
I'm going to tell you the truth. You know, my oldest one set the pace, and by the time I got to that last one, you know, I got a son in between there. Right. So by the time I got to that youngest one, I was all the way together. Right. Anybody that know me, you know, I'm about that.
What quality, if you could take one quality and make sure it was instilled in all your kids, what would that quality be?
Get to it. Make something out of nothing. Always be positive, good energy. You know what I mean? Stay prayed up. Stay in the knowing, out the way is my key. Hey. I didn't give you the recipe.
So, what is something that BC has his hand in that has no association to music?
No association to music. Some restaurant stuff, real estate.
Where your restaurant? You look like you. You look like. I know you got a restaurant.
I was involved with one downtown for several years, and then you know I got plans to open up another one. I want to do not just a restaurant. We might have a couple. Really, okay. You know, a chain of them or something. But I'm gonna be in that industry and get to it though. But I don't have a physical one right now, to be honest with you.
Can you cook?
Yes, I can. I've been gone from the crib for a long time. But I know what good food is. You know, there's a few things I do excellent besides music. Right. You know what I mean? Eating is one of them. You know, but you know, it is what it is.
So has BC ever been a rapper? You've met.
Not at all.
You
Not
never
at
jumped
all.
in the booth. There ain't
Not at
no
all.
freestyle
The best I
out here.
came to rapping, I'm a contest to something. The best I came to rapping, bro, they did this, I don't know if you remember on 97.9 when they used to do the remakes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I did that. You know, remember the song, what was the kid's name? He was out of Alabama. Throw them D's. You remember that record?
Yeah.
I did
Boy.
when we talked about the burgers, just throw the cheese on it and all this other shit. It was crazy. I'd have to get you a copy of that, but it was a classic, man. It was me. Now, I was punching in and out. That's before individuals would own up to punching in and out. I would punch it in, I'd go over there and say one word, run back and say another word, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Now, when you building a marketing strategy for an artist, do you still include radio?
Oh, for sure. It's still one of your, you have levels to certain things, and radio, TV, movies, things it's the ultimate platforms, you know what I mean? Exposure, yeah, radio, yeah. Especially if you have the means, which I say the budgets and, the understanding how that works.
Right.
You gotta be coached through it right too, you know what I mean? I was actually just, give a shout out and plug, simple one, but I just had a record that's broke top 100, that's 89 on the urban charts right now, you know what I mean? The radio, which is Checkaway record. Arian, you had him over on an interview before.
Shit,
Yeah.
for real?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we broke the top 100. It was number 80, 89.
That's big.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, we still working too. Still working.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe in radio.
Because we like you said, we live in such a fast pace now. Like a nigga drop a mixtape and he finna drop another one the next week.
Yeah.
It's like you don't even get time to absorb the content.
People forget about. We talk about this. What's my man in Oakland? He dropped a mixtape one every month last year, or 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago or last year? Filthy Rich.
Yeah.
People forget about it, but I'm talking. He dropped a whole tape each month.
That's so crazy.
And planned it out. Told you he was gonna do it. Planned it out. Had features. Did the whole rip.
And that's crazy because he got a lot. He got so much money. He don't have to do two tapes one tape every 6 months. And he's still good.
Yeah. But I have to be honest with you, one of the things that's actually just progressed and it just went to different ways is just content, bro. Mm-hmm. Think about it. People watch TV for what? For the next episode.
Straight up.
And they don't realize they get caught in and you're only gonna get 8 to 12 episodes for that series for the year and you gotta wait for the next season. You know what I mean? So it's all programming.
Right.
It's all programming.
Who has been, I like to say who has been your hardest artist to market? Like you just, they so rough around the edges, or they got the gun with them. They gotta have a gun with them everywhere, or they got it, whatever. Who is that artist?
I couldn't really say who. It might be more just encounter with more independents than so much majors. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I can't pinpoint just a one incident, to be honest with you. But I think a lot of times independents don't get it sometimes, and then moving in packs and 15, 20 people and all that.
That shit
it's
crazy,
time
man.
for all of that. You can get to that, but starting out, first time you engage and you come into a market, you move around 10 markets, 12 markets, you going into places where your record really ain't known and you trying to establish relationships, bringing 10, 15 different people,
right?
And nobody has a point of any importance. That's crazy to me.
It'd be crazy because only one of them got some money.
He taking care of everybody.
He taking care of everybody.
He taking care of everybody. But it'd be amazing. Like I've lived through some situations where the second time I seen him, that trend down.
Right.
It finally caught on. He realized, but you be like,
trying
to tell you that the first time I saw you.
Then it just be them. Hey, where we going?
Them and two partners though. The ones I'm managing, it might be the DJ. You know what I mean? Yeah, for real.
So now that we're in a new era of music, and you got artists that it just feel like artists are doing more singing and more like harmonic tones. Do you feel like that's more prevalent now, or do you miss like kind of back when it was about bars and just really spitting?
Well, I definitely miss the subject matter.
Right.
Let's say that.
know what I mean? That's subject matter, boy.
Yeah, subject matter. You know what I mean? But I almost see where it went. just because of time and what's going on in the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? I hate to say it. It's a lot of things, but I think people forget the world really does influence the sounds that we hear coming from the people, and it's generation driven. You know what I mean? But I can't lie to you. I ride was listening to Al Green over here.
Man,
that's kind of music I'm on.
I'm
listening to A-By and JG. I'm still listening to Face. You know what I mean?
I was listening to 3-6, that late night tip.
Yeah, for sure.
I asked that to segue into this. Is it easy can you manage an artist if you don't like their music or you don't like their content?
Nah, not manage. I'm really particular about what I tie myself to, because I don't think people understand the involvement when you say manage. You're not only managing that artist, you're managing that individual. You know, like when they got personal stuff going on, because you got to protect the brand and understand the value of it. You got to go take care of that business too.
Right.
You know, you turn into a whole another beast when you talk about manage. Just to be honest with you. At least you should.
Right.
A good one.
Now, what's the most common misconception about marketing? Because I know a lot of people think, well, I got a marketing team now, so I'm going to get a show tomorrow or some shit.
You
like
said
that.
it right there. Really understanding how it works. You know, I don't think a lot of people, when they get into marketing, realizing sometimes how long sometimes things take to resonate.
Right.
You know, we talk about the frankenizing situations 9 times. You know, it takes, and I'm talking about behavior from a person to buy into something, believe in it, or it comes into a habit. Think about it. You know, people got to walk up on you, or you got to come engage with something 6 to 7, 9 times for it to turn into something like, hey, okay, just so you maybe trigger to listen to it. You know, that's why we talk about programming and radios. It's still relevant, very. You know what I mean?
Yep. Tell us about some of the different genres you've marketed for besides hip hop.
Well, you know, we was involved with a lot of the reggaeton stuff when it first started.
Okay.
You know, some of my blessings was dealing with Little John and Pitbull and all of that. I saw that transformation. You know what I mean?
Man, did he transform?
Yeah, yeah, he did. He did. And I'm saying that because he's even more relevant now than he was then, because the producing side. People don't realize Little John is, you know, you talk about successful and rich. When they finally get the chance to tell his story, people going to be more amazed of the things that he did.
Yeah, because for the longest time, I just thought he was the dude yelling on records.
Not at all. He was far from that.
Right.
Really. But I remember meeting him because people was, you know, it was a sound for Atlanta at that time.
Right.
Why, you know, either they was yelling or he was whispering.
Right.
You got to remember, it was just true. You know what I mean? He was like, yo, why these niggas yelling on the records? But, you know, he did that for a hot 3 seconds, and he was doing more producing, and, you know, he created this whole, I shouldn't say created himself, but, you know, marshmallow heads and all these different ass motherfuckers that's out here now. It's just amazing, you know?
Man, because it's like, I looked him up the other, like, not too long ago. I'm like, damn, he's still rich? Shit,
he's rich.
Rich.
You understand me?
Real rich.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So, have you ever thought about, now we talk about branding and marketing, and all the places you touch. Have you ever thought about moving it, building another station somewhere else? Like, you have you part of Dallas history.
Right.
Have you ever been like, well, I'm gonna just go over here and press reset and do it?
I still got some good presence in Oklahoma. You know, we got a team in Oklahoma. You know, what the biggest blessings have been is that I have my network is in that even line. You know, like I'm plugged in across the country in the top 33 markets. It's, you know, I know them ones that's like me, and I say me because, you know, they in between the corporate world and, let's be honest with you, they're really the hustlers and the innovative soul. You know, everybody turned them into ambassadors and all kind of other things now today. But just keeping it real with you, I know them cats. You know what I mean?
Who's somebody in Oklahoma that the world needs to know about and they wouldn't know nothing about? Because
Bino.
Yes,
sir. He's the thing, bro. He's the thing for sure. Bino.
Cause man, I ain't gonna lie, man. It's some real live shit going on in Oklahoma. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. It is. And then, you know, it's right down the street.
Right.
You know, I my son is there, so I used to go on a Tuesday night, Thursday night, catching football games and basketball games, and you'll drive 2 hours, come back. Think about all the money they're getting from us on these casinos.
Man.
Every way out of Texas right now, you're going to catch a casino, and they're getting millions of dollars, bro.
Man.
You know? So, it's a blessing.
I don't know if you, you stay current on your Dallas news, but I'm pretty sure you do. Recently, Sean Cotton said, and he owns Say Cheese, that he has done more for the city of Dallas, or DFW, than Erykah Badu. What are your thoughts on things like that?
Well, I heard about it.
Right.
I've actually had a couple interviews, believe it or not. I shouldn't have interviews, but encounters with the conversation, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. The way I understand it, because, I got to see the beginning and the end of this conversation, he wasn't even gesturing it that way. So I had to speak on the man's actions, got misinterpreted. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I say this to you. I think he's been very, very instrumental for the market by far.
Yeah.
By far.
Oh, for sure.
He's everybody has their place, because, like, keeping it real with you, if you don't really know me, you don't know what I've done.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why I'm doing these interviews, just to where people can understand the history. 20 years in business, period, doing anything. I don't care if you're selling hot dogs, hamburgers, got it, whatever going on, is something to speak up on. So I just got to that point where I was ready to start telling my story. You know what I mean? But I feel like he's done his thing.
I know he did a hell of a lot. I just felt like,
well,
I didn't feel. I just was thinking like, shit. You'd be thinking some certain shit, and you just be like, I'm gonna just keep that to myself.
Can we credit to say what all Erykah's did though?
Huh?
Can we credit to say what all Erykah's has done for the market too? That's just a question I would like for someone to answer.
Yeah.
And I'm only asking because, for it to get crossed up that way, it's a question to ask out of it.
Nah, for real.
Let's look at it from all angles. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like you've gotten enough credit?
I ain't never did it for credit.
Oh.
Honestly. And I know I don't get enough, because a lot of people don't really know my position in this, because I've always played in the know and out the way. Like keeping it real with you, Jeff and them. I remember the first days of any of this. You know what I mean? I've brought many interviews over here. And I'm saying that just because I've saw several things. I can go back with people like DeVille, Party Chasers.
Right.
I remember the beginning and starting of that. Shoot, it goes back for me. So I ain't never really looked at it from a standpoint of, the ones know, they know.
Man, I'm glad you brought up Party Chasers. Have you ever tried to get to a spot and they be like, yeah, bro, and they get Hollywood with you like, come on, like what?
I can't say I have ever had those problems.
Okay.
Bro. I can't.
Man, I tried to get into one of their spots.
I can't say I've ever had no problems, kid folk, you know what I mean?
Man, I tried to get in one of their spots, man. They was like, we have a guest list tonight. Man, nigga, and they had the nerve to have a clipboard. Ain't no names on that clipboard, fam.
He said had the nerve to have a clipboard. You wild.
You're right.
I ain't never had them problems. They've been my folks, man. You know what I mean? And
amen.
Even, stand on, Dre and them, talk. I even go into we was just speaking about people's with what is it? All the different,
Yeah.
I hate calling them organizations. They not really that. The individuals that's created them ways, entities. Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Now, Dallas has often been referred to as the city of hate because everybody has. I usually can get that question out without laughing, but
right. I can't even hear the question without laughing. But go ahead.
Because of the the kind of crab in a bucket mentality that the artists have. What are your thoughts on that?
Every city got it. I hate to say that.
Yeah.
One, but the thing is, I think it just needs to be empowered of a situation in the market, which we're gotten better. It's believable situations happening, so people feel like it can happen. But even colder than that, and I take credit over my own self, and I call out other gatekeepers. Sometimes it takes individuals to come together and give some guidance too, though, bro. Right. You know what I mean? But it just be the thing of real being transparent with you. People got to own it for their own thing. I feel like our market's still pretty segregated. I'm just gonna touch on the note for what it is.
Nah, for real.
You know what I mean? But at that being said, only way we can get any stronger and get better is that we come together and do more stuff together. Don't be scared to be in the room with somebody else.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just the way I look at it.
You used the word gatekeeper. I'm glad you used that. Do you feel like you're a gatekeeper?
I am.
I am. Amen.
I am.
Um,
I'm gonna get the phone call, bro.
nah, for real.
I need to get a shirt to say that. I'm gonna get the phone call now. Jeez.
Nah, for real though. So, what is your role as a gatekeeper in the city of Dallas?
One, do right by the city. You know, I've done a lot of things, and when I've, you know, not even taking no credit for it. You know, like driving traffic to the city, making sure the right person meet the right person in the city when they come from outside, as well as I've done a lot for the marketplace just in a whole. You know, think about what we was talking about a couple of minutes ago. I held 2-3 different identities and did a lot, being very transparent on hard work. You know what I mean? So, and I just kind of earned it of a nature. You know, some people call it OGs and do all that kind of stuff, and that's cool. I take that one too. I just try to be accountable for my actions and do their things. You know, but I've sold a lot of relationships together. Amen. And did my part. You know what I mean?
Now, of course, you're not the only marketing company in Dallas. We have a lot of other marketing companies.
Oh, do they?
They out there. What have you seen done? And you don't have to. Of course, you don't have to say nobody. But what is bad marketing? What is some bad marketing that you've seen done in the DFW?
Maybe individuals doing too much and don't know the audience. You know what I mean? Or not doing enough and they got an audience. You know,
Right.
And I can't really, you know, I don't know if that makes sense to people, because here's the thing, or sustaining doing it long enough to get back to that word resonated, to attach to your fan base. You know, people, I know people would be in the market, don't move around.
Right.
They, you know, home gonna treat you like home, bro. You know, you got to move around. I don't care if you move around a 2-hour radius.
Right.
Outside of this city, it's a whole bunch of stuff going on. When you think about the college, you know, break down who you gonna try to touch and reach. You know what I mean? It's some thought with this shit, man.
Right.
That's the thing. You know, just out here winging around don't make no sense. That's dumb.
Now, let's say President Trump wants to fix his image in the southern region. He wants to hire Southern Fried Marketing. And that check so big, it'll make your grandkids blink. Do we take the check?
It'd have to be a thought process. I think I might put that one on my team. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, you know. Shit add up, man. I've done some alien stuff, bro, and ain't never been in the way. We ain't got a Latino team. We ain't got a white team. I did a lot of stuff, bro. That I'm talking about. You, hey, man. There's some thought to this, bro. You know what I mean? Just be honest with you.
And all your
he said the check so big, your grandkids, kids. How would you not be able to take that one? You know what I mean?
Man, you know what's real though? You have some kids. I mean, you have some people. Nah, I ain't fucking with Trump. For your grandkids, you ain't gonna take the check.
One thing he's a money making motherfucker.
Right.
I hate to say that, you know. He even know what he's doing as we speak, bro. Like,
man, and people got it so fucked up. I be telling them, man. People be like, he racist. I was like, no, he not. He just evil. That's capitalism, buddy.
Causing chaos, bro. He causing that chaos for a reason. You understand what I mean?
Because he make money.
That, and it keeps him in some type of an audience of a control.
Man, that's right.
You know, if you pay attention, shit, I can keep feeding you what I want to feed you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What would you say is your most crowning achievement to this moment to date? At this moment to date?
Being a father, having a college degree.
What you got a degree in?
Psychology.
Oh yeah, you said that.
Yeah.
I got a degree in some bullshit.
Say that again?
I got a degree in network management.
Okay.
Most bullshit ever. But then I continue.
But you taught you how to start and finish though.
Hey, nah,
and
for
stick
real.
To something.
Nah, for real.
You know what I mean? That's how you hear. But now, a few things. Really, being in business for 20 years is an achievement for me.
Right.
Because, you know, I was, you know, not being far-fetched and taking the story back to the beginning, but I wanted to work for myself. When I made up a decision about 26, 27 years old, I wanted to, you know, what I got to do to be an entrepreneur. What's this entrepreneurship shit about, you know? And being prayed up, bro. Just being honest with you, I saw a vision one day, you know, like I was telling my team, I'm meeting some of my alter ego right now. You know, I'm getting out of my way.
Right.
Not talking, not saying certain things. You know, I'm gonna take it back and do
Man,
a bunch of taping and catching some different footage, because I got some memories, bro, to be able to share with some folks.
Man, I swear they got to see you call a shot, man, or they don't think you can call them.
That's the truth.
That's why they respect the ref.
That's the truth. That's the truth, bro. That's the truth. And it's amazing, because I know so many that talk so loud that they can't do nothing.
Right.
Can't do nothing, bro. You know what I mean? Just in the way.
In the way.
Just in the way, man.
So, what's next for this year? What do you have planned? What is 2020? What are we expecting?
Well, we started off with a good year. You know, we got a new line in the categories of things that we got our hands on, which I'm doing a lot of A&R work. Familiar with a company by the name of Music Access. We VP of A&R over there now, so we're signing some folks. We've been active and reactive, and we're gonna take some stuff and really stand for our home. You know, and not so much just home, just doing good business, bro.
Right.
We're gonna do some good business, teach some of these fat folks how to move and, have some successful careers, because, let's be 1,000. It's been going on for years. I've been blessed to be a part of a couple of the whole real live movements, which from, No Limit to Cash Money and see the and even up today to QC. I work with those to see those models really grow. Empire, just to watch those models really grow. It's about, doing good business.
I'm glad you said QC. We just recently saw the stripper bowl go down. And supposedly $1 million is going to get thrown, $500,000. Is that a marketing ploy, or do a group of people come in a room and or is that just, do stuff like that just really happen?
I think the first year really just happened.
Okay.
I think it's more thought to it now. You know what I mean? But it's an event.
Right.
So it's got to be some thought to it, right?
Man,
it's an event.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, like, if we gonna throw this
an
money,
event, man. You thinking too hard, bro.
Right now.
Shit. Right?
Nah, you're right. It's an event.
Okay.
I'm just trying to see how I was gonna how anybody get paid off this shit.
Well, believe it or not, if it started all the way out, it's probably got paid before they walked in the door.
Right. Amen. You said it.
It was all the way thought out, bro. You know what I mean? There's a lot of money involved.
Right.
Because that down in Miami was some different. Tents and this, that, and the third, and whoop. Come on, man. You talking about sponsorship bread. You talking about all kind of good stuff, bro.
When you're building a company and you have people that want to be a part of it, but they don't necessarily have best interests, or their views don't align with yours, how do you remove them or separate yourself from them?
Just get to it, man. Direct. I hate to say it. I've always said this. I'm keeping it real with you. Business has no emotions, bro.
Woohoo!
There ain't no room for the emotional part of doing business. You know what I mean? So I've just always been trying to keep the emotional and the friendship situation out of it. But the blessing is, like I said to you earlier, some of your best relationships is money making relationships, right?
Right.
Now don't get me wrong, I got family, I got stuff of that nature, but shit, we make money together though, so it kind of covers still the situations, you know what I mean?
Now, tell us about that time you had to tell a friend that I'm not finna help you do this. I ain't got time for this. Like, we can't. I love you, but we ain't got time for this.
And he was stealing.
He was still. That'd be. See,
he was stealing from me. You know what I mean? Just be honest with you.
Them be the niggas that.
So it wasn't hard to address.
It was.
You know what I mean? He was stealing. So it was, It was obvious. I'm getting W-2s on my desk. You know what I mean? Where does work come from? Where does it go? You got to pay attention to all of it. That's why I tell anybody that's an entrepreneur and you got business or doing business, let's be 1,000.
Y'all got
stay involved. You got to stay involved and know what's going on.
Y'all got W-2s?
Oh, yeah, we get W-2s, 9s, all that. Come on.
Oh,
man.
shit. Nigga, you got a
real
real big. That's a real business.
Contracts going around here, man. Here's real 12-month contracts going on around here, baby boy. We got stuff going on, 12 months a year.
Amen. So What is your plan to be more active on social media? Because I was looking at your page, man. And we ain't,
He said active. I try to be transparent.
Right.
Because it really still not about just me when I'm dealing with these artists and things of that nature. You know, it's about them. But I'm pretty up to know it. Like I said, I put the right things up there, but you really keeping it real with you. You got your story, you got your Facebook, you got your Twitter.
Man,
you know, where you looking at? You know what I mean? Instagram, you know what I mean? Just depends on what's your strength. TikTok, what you
shit,
up?
I'm on it all because, when you got to holler at women, they be like, I won't give you my number, but you can hit me up on Twitter or hit me up on Snapchat. So I got
DMing a lot.
Right. That's the way, man. That's the only.
You DM Jordan.
Man, shit, I be shooting. I'm gonna shoot my shot. I put a little basketball on my shit.
DM Jordan, you know what I mean?
Man, that's how you gotta get to it now, though.
Hey, man. I wish you luck on that one, brother.
Yeah,
I'm still an old school cat. I want to walk up on it at Walmart.
Man, you find something at Walmart. Man, you know what's so fucked up about Walmart, though?
You know what's so fucked up about Walmart?
And I got much respect for the Walmart, man, but if they got it used to be you could walk up in Walmart and they have a couple of kids and they all be her kids.
They be what?
That was her kid. Them kids they all had one daddy.
Right.
But now it's like 3 baby daddy over here, 2 over there. You got 5 kids. That's too many niggas to deal with. So shit, I'm looking for. Man, if I meet you on social media and you ain't got no pictures of no kids, then when I meet you, I ain't expect you to have no kids with you.
Man, I'm going in there, get what I need to get, and I'm getting gone.
I got a question though.
You know what I mean?
So let's say, you know what, I'm going to keep that to myself. I'm going to ask you that off camera.
Okay. Cool.
You got any shout outs?
Hey, man, just the family stuff, LCA, hey, man, Def Jam, the Exos, everything. It's dripping from up there, man.
Yeah.
We dripping. Yeah.
And for anybody who want to get in contact with you for any type of marketing, or anything, managing, publishing, how would they do that?
I'm easy. 214-878-9054. It's been on advertising. It's been on 1,000,001 things. I'm Southern Fried Marketing, Southern Fried MKTG on, all of the platforms, which is, the social media stuff. Southern Fried Marketing on Facebook,
Hey, man.
However they want to do it. You want my email too?
Yeah, give them the email.
SouthernFriedM@yahoo.com.
Amen. BC Newton, owner and operator of Southern Fried Marketing. Man, you've been over a decade in these streets.
Yeah.
You done helped build the city. You got a lot more work to do.
I do.
When you do some
Hope
more,
to come back soon, man.
Yeah.
We talk
Now
about
you gonna be back because you got to bring.
Smash.
Yeah, you got to come back because we got to get the work done, man. And you are a real life street star. We do salute you.
Shout out Reallyfe Street Stars, nigga. Moolah. Hey.